Hello. Oh. Hi. Can you hear me all right?
It sounds like you have a giant helmet on your head.
Well, that's apt, isn't it?
Is the front bit, is that an actual, like, does that have holes for speaking? Yes.
Yeah, there's like holes. It's a bit broken though. Like the headpiece, the thing on the top is a bit
Yeah.
it doesn't sit on my head properly.
The constant hitting of the mic stand doesn't help.
I'm trying to stand back. I'm trying to stand back for it.
Got my headphones in.
Games. Oh, look at you! Look.
I got Bluetooth working.
Looking all snazzy.
This can f right off.
Oh, do you know what? Let's see if you can wear it.
Just
Nope, it's not gonna. His ears. Your ears.
No,
are
his ears.
For this week, we're gonna have to put you in the back.
Cliff.
It's the Oscars tomorrow.
I know. Who gives a shit at this point, eh?
I don't know if I'll watch it. I really can't be bothered. I've got stuff to be doing.
That's the thing. I think I might watch it with a laptop in hand, like just writing stuff. Like, I don't think I'm going to pay full attention to it. I might pull it up on my laptop. Like, I might do some stuff on my computer, have it side on my laptop. I'm just curious to see what they're going to do. Like, I'm genuinely I want to see them perform Husavik, and I want to. I want to see who wins. See if I can cash my 70 quid when Nomadland wins. Fingers crossed.
I'm only going to be watching it probably because I'll be awake doing other things. But yeah, I really usually I'm not going to be with my parents doing it. Fraser can't be bothered staying up for it because he's also doing dissertation stuff. It's a really bad week to be having it. Like if they could just
I know they really should have just fought for us. Why are they not thinking about what we have to do? Okay?
They could delay it a few weeks.
We have things to do.
We got shit on.
Just uncalled for.
I've got 3 days left. 4 days. 4 days? 4 days.
4 days.
Of being a student. And then I leave education. I leave education and I won't be able to learn anything anymore.
Physically, your brain shuts off completely.
I will never learn again.
Receptive to information just stops.
It's when you stop mentally developing. Yeah. Although some could make the argument that I stopped mentally developing years ago.
Ooh. Yeah, I have a week and a half. And a week full of fun appointments for Cameron that will make life a living hell. It's like everything just sort of piled up at the correct time. I'm just having a great time. You know? Can't wait. So much fun.
You might be wondering, what's happening? Why is Jordi's usually thematically on point background? It's Sub-Zero and Scorpion of Mortal Kombat.
When have you ever been on thematically correct? Last week it was Spy Kids, wasn't it? No, it was the man from Monsters vs. Aliens.
Yeah. Usually, well, yeah. When it was weekly Watchlist, then I put it onto the thing. But I thought I'd put it on because I like this background. It's because this is really fucking drawn up. This week was Mortal Kombat came out. That's it. That's all this has been leading up to, is me saying those words. Mortal Kombat came out as the bigger release of this week. We'll get to that in the weekly watch list segment, but we decided to talk about games that we want to see. If there's a new emergence of video game movies. There was a big break between like the early 2000s and the late teens, and then we got like Tomb Raider and Sonic the Hedgehog and Detective Pokemon Pikachu, which was quite good.
Detective Pokemon.
Yes. Detective Ryan Reynolds, the Pokemon. And then yeah, so we're sort of in this era where it's like video game movies are back. Are they good?
That's the question, and the answer usually
they're better than
No.
what they used to be, but that's not hard.
it's not difficult at all.
Yeah, it's like the Snyder cut of video game movies. So yeah, we decided we were going to talk about what we wanted to what we want to see as films or TV series, because of course we have actually coming out Last of Us, made by HBO, which is, I think it might be, if it's good. Is it a limited series or an actual series?
I don't know, because I feel like they could do more with it. They could just keep going. Like the game, where the game stops, they could just keep going. And I know they probably won't, but they should, because you could do lots of things once they get to that little town and they make a little name for themselves and all that. You know, they could do lots of stuff. I just want to see the live action giraffes. That's all I want. I just want the live action giraffe sequence. You know, where she sees all the
spoilers.
I'm sorry. Is that really a spoiler?
Some
giraffes
people
are in the
haven't
game.
seen the giraffes.
You can pet the giraffes. It's a great sequence. I enjoy giraffes. No, The Last of Us. That's a good casting for The Last of Us as well. Pedro Pascal as the old Yo, and
Yol
Joe, and there's also that guy's playing Tommy, Ghost Rider. Did we talk about that last week, or was that just
Gabriel Luna? Gabriel
Luna, not Diego Luna. Gabriel Luna. There was lots of confusion on the Lunas that last time for some reason. Yeah. I think I had a small stroke. We both had a small stroke, but Luna and what it was just a small stroke.
That little girl from Game of Thrones is playing Ellie.
Yeah,
it's shaping up to be a great show.
And they seem to be shooting it over a year. At least that's the rumor, which is a very bold way to do it, I guess. And like you said, and I think I agreed, which they should just release the episodes as they're ready instead of just making us wait for it all to be done, so we can take the journey with them. I think would be quite cool.
Yeah. I think it was you that said you wish they'd just released them, but when you told me that they were filming it over a year, I said, oh, maybe it's because they're doing like their journey in real time, because they go from the East Coast to the West Coast, so that would take a long time to walk.
It would, wouldn't it? I've never tried it myself, but it could take a time.
America, right, is fucking huge.
I thought it was the size of Scotland. Is it not? Is it bigger than Scotland?
Much bigger. Much bigger.
Like England?
It's like bigger.
England and Ireland?
Bigger.
Oh, fucking hell.
It's the
That'd
size
take a
of
while
bigger.
to walk. It's the size of bigger.
So, Cameron, what game do you want to be made into a show or a film?
There was rumors of it, so I don't know if this counts or not. But I really, because didn't Henry Cavill kind of post like a little teaser the other week there, or was that a mad dream? Because I really want a Mass Effect series. I want full on space adventures and adventure in space. The movie. I want to get on that Normandy. I want to go with a Commander Shepard. I want to see the world. I want to have a great time. Have you played the Mass Effect games?
I played the Mass Effect 3 demo. Or 2. No. Which one's the one where he can't remember who he is? And it Ghost dies at the beginning.
That sounds like 2, because at the beginning, the beginning of 3 is set on not the Citadel. It's set on something. It's set on a big old thing. I can't remember it properly. I love those games so much. Okay, I'd always wanted to play them, and I never really got around to it. I played bits of 3, but I never finished it. So the summer of 2019, I basically just locked myself away for a week and got on Mass Effect 1 and finished it right through to Mass Effect 3, carrying over my character every time, because I just love the fact you could do that. You can carry over your exact same character. You get like an achievement for carrying over your character. It's lovely. but it's just such a vast world and really cool characters. I feel like it would just suit a just the video games. Not video game. I think it was this video game. I think would be a really good video game, Jordi. I don't know about you, but I think a video game about this would be one of the best.
I disagree. I disagree.
No, I think a movie or a TV series, maybe even a TV series. I'm not big on TV, as you know, but I think a TV series would be cool because even someone like Netflix, which would be cool, like, but yeah, I don't know. You can't really contribute to this conversation as you have never played these video games, but I like them a lot. The world is really cool, and but the issue I have with it, and it might be an issue that's going to be with a lot of them, is the live action image I see in my head is just fan made stuff. So it's very difficult to see past the whole like looks cheap. Like every time I imagine a Mass Effect live action show, it just looks cheap in my head because it's going to be all the images I have in my head are cheap cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I mean? So that's like the issue with Fallout as well, is all I can see is those really cheap Fallout short films from on YouTube and stuff in my head, and not the actual live action Fallout.
Yeah, that was a big problem that when it was announced that Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan, who did Westworld, were doing a Fallout series. We were worried about how they have to get the Vault suit correct.
Yeah.
And not make it look like pajamas.
It's so easy to make it look so cheap. I've seen a couple live action Vault suits, even the one that Bethesda themselves gave Conan O'Brien for his little Fallout 4 intro show thing that he did. He did like a Clueless Gamer segment on it. That looked stupid. And I worry greatly about the aesthetic of Fallout, the Fallout TV series, which is another one I was maybe going to mention on, but we're just going to segue into it. The Fallout series is, as you can tell, I'm a very big Fallout fan. I love me some Fallout.
No.
I'm a big Bethesda fan. I simp for Todd Howard, despite that man lies to me every year. That man will come out of E3.
It's an abusive relationship.
It really is. I really shouldn't listen to him. But then he comes out and is like, I'm really sorry, but this is going to be fucking amazing. I'm like, okay, Todd.
It's on a phone now. You're like, yay!
Yes. So the world of Fallout you could do so much with. There's so much history there that there's like Wikipedia page of just stuff they could go. I don't even want them to go to America. I know they will, because the whole thing about Fallout is like 1950s nuclear America that never sort of like got past that stage. So all the technology is sort of advanced with the aesthetic of 1950s America, which is really cool. And I like that. But I do kind of want to see what happened in Australia. Like I want to see the fucking nuclear wasteland of Australia for some reason with all the fucking Vault suits and that. But I've confidence.
That's called Mad Max.
Mad Max. Yeah, I know. I get that. Yeah, I think all this, and it's just very exciting. You don't like Fallout either. You don't like any of the games that I like.
I never really got interested in Bethesda games. I didn't like Fallout or Elder Scrolls. I sort of just found them too big, and I just lost interest quite quickly. But I would like to see a sort of Deadwood style Western set in New Vegas.
Yes, that would be. I do really want to go to a new location, thing. But if they did just riff off some kind of location within Fallout, it would have to be New Vegas for me. Like that would be the one area to go into. And New Vegas is my least favorite Fallout game of the 3 that have really come out. Well, 4, but we don't talk about 76. But of the 3 that have come out, at least New Vegas is my least favorite, despite being everyone's favorite for some reason. It's just the only one that never grasped me very much, and I never finished it. But it's the best one that would be great for adaptation into live action as an easing point in, and then I say every future season of that show should be set in a different part of America, like the games are, because there's endless possibilities and endless kinds of creatures. And yeah,
how are they going to do live action Death Wings? Death Claws.
Very easily. Those Death Claws are, if you look up an image of a Death Claw, they're just like the monsters in Scooby-Doo, like the ones in Spooky Island.
The rabbit ones.
Sort of, yes. They're basically just that, but longer.
Huh.
So they could do them very easily in live action.
Yeah.
What about you, Jordy? What kind of shit are you thinking?
I want a sequel to Warcraft. There, I said it.
You know, I've not watched it yet, but I've heard all right things.
Have you
I don't
not?
think
It's I don't think you'll have a clue what's going on.
I really have a clue what's going on in
It's
most
a
things.
film. It's very much a film for people who already know things about the Warcraft story, and
I
the
wouldn't have
plot.
taken you for someone that knows the lore of Warcraft, like for someone that is aware of the Warcraft lore.
I know everything, baby. I know from Lich King, Frostmourne, Thrall, the Horde.
So did you play Warcraft free, or did you have a subscription to World of Warcraft?
I had a subscription to World of Warcraft, but then I watched loads of videos on like lore stuff.
Like the Yogs cast.
I educated myself. No, I've never watched. Apart from when they did like a Mists of Pandaria video or something about a new DLC. I can feel us losing viewers as I speak. But yeah, I'd quite like a continuation of Warcraft. I'd like them to do Warcraft 2. I feel like their downfall was just the way that they did the characters, and they didn't really cover a lot of the characters and make people invested in the story, essentially.
It seemed very meaty just from the trailers. It seemed like they'd gone a bit. Some people said they simplified it too much, but also some people said it was just very fucking bogged down. Like it just didn't seem like a great. I don't know. It just didn't. Both people hated it. Both fans and people. No one liked it for some reason. But
I loved it.
But Jordy did. Jordy enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's just got some of the best CGI until there's a human on screen. But yeah, it's just got some of the nicest looking CGI characters.
Did you ever play Spec Ops: The Line?
I didn't complete it, but I did. I did.
You did. I think that, and I know not every video game under the sun needs to be adapted, and to be honest, it's an art form. I'm not calling for it to be actively adapted, but I think an interesting adaptation would just be a limited series based on Spec Ops: The Line. I think that'd be really cool to see played out in live action.
I think you could do it in a film.
Yeah, you could do it in a film. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's not a long game, is it?
It's not too long. I think it's like what, 8 hours maybe. It's like the normal length of a COD campaign, I think.
Yeah.
But that's probably one of the best narratives in a shooter for a very, very long time. I don't think it's ever. For me, it's not been topped. The moral aspect of that game is one of the best. I think it would be really cool to have that portrayed properly on a film would be really, really great.
Yeah, it's shocking. It's got twists and turns.
And turns.
And people shooting through glass with sand coming through, and the sand falls through the windows. And that's most of what I remember. I played the Spec Ops: The Line demo at the Gadget Show live.
They wouldn't let me. I tried. Right. I have a t-shirt. I have the t-shirt in my drawer. I have 3 t-shirts in my drawer from the giveaways from the Gadget Show live. And I can't believe we both went to the Gadget Show live the same year. That's fucking mental. Anyway, I used to go every year. It was a great time. Went with my granddad and my dad. Love a Gadget Show live. I have the thing, and I queued up for ages to play it. And the same with Evolve the year later. And they wouldn't let me into Evolve. But they wouldn't let me play the demo first. They were like, no, he's too young. And to be honest, I did look about 6, even though I was like in high school. I did look. Puberty hadn't really caught up to me yet at that point, so I did look like I was probably about 2. So, but yeah, it was. I played it on my laptop. A couple years later, I bought it for £2 on Steam and played it on my laptop, and that's how. This is my only experience of it. I need to give it another. I need to play it again because I'd love to play that again when it looks like an actual video game and not like a slideshow.
Yeah. I think I have it on Steam too. There's a game to stream.
You do have it on Steam because it says Jordy Steele owns this game when I go up to play it.
Yeah. What's another game? What's
you know
another
what they're
game
adapting?
That's not...
You like a lot. They're adapting. We can talk about one they're adapting right now that you have a lot of issues with. Borderlands.
Oh, you reminded me. No! Yeah, they're Eli Roth doing that, isn't he? He is.
And in the worst way possible from the sounds of things.
It's infuriating. Every time a casting comes out, my body goes cold and my soul dies a little bit. Because I don't believe Eli Roth has ever played this game. I think he's just seen some character designs and gone, Jack Black can play the robot. Kevin Hart can play...
Claptrap casting isn't the worst casting on the planet.
It should have been John Mulaney. It should have been John Mulaney.
That has annoyed me. John Mulaney's not well at the moment, Jordi.
Fucking hell. But yeah, Kevin Hart as Roland.
As Roland, yeah.
As the big heroic black guy. I don't know because it's an old Lilith. It's Kate Blanchett as Lilith.
Yeah.
I have no idea what they're doing.
Sense.
Apart from the girl who played,
from the girl from Love and Monsters. That's the only one that makes any sense whatsoever because she's a great wee actress. But that entire film, I don't mind Eli Roth as a person. Don't mind most of his films. The House with a Cock in Its Balls was quite good. But I don't. The baby Jack Black has haunted me for the rest. That's probably why Jack Black's been cast as Claptrap, just because he did House with a Mouse in Its Walls.
Probably.
Yeah.
And Kate Blanchett.
Yes. There you go. It's just a reunion. That's all it is.
I wish it wasn't.
What about an actual one that's not been adapted yet? What are you feeling?
Wasn't actual. I mean, the obvious answer is a GTA series. Grand Theft Auto.
A series, not even a movie, a proper series then. So you wanna
I think with things like Netflix could definitely do a Grand Theft Auto. Get Vance Gilligan in on it. Yeah, I feel like
I don't know why no one's asked. How many people do you think have asked at this point? There must be a lot of studios that have gone up to Rockstar and went, or Take Two must be holding on to it with dear life because they're the most money-hungry company on the planet. They would have given away the rights by now to anybody. So Rockstar must be vetoing it. But loads of folk must have gone up at this point and said, "Hey, we'll make a GTA movie if you want."
Maybe, yeah, probably. Probably every time a game comes out, somebody new tries to. Or like, yeah, there must be loads of pitches and stuff. But
it's the biggest entertainment property in the world. Or was.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of the biggest entertainment properties in the world. It surprises me that it's not been tried yet.
Yeah.
But
I'm kind of glad it hasn't been.
Yeah.
Because
you could do a GTA 5 one pretty easy. Like, as an adaptation. But the thing is, do you want an adaptation or do you want a standalone?
No, I want like a standalone GTA Grand Theft Auto. Not the film starring Ron Howard.
And an issue also you have to think of is the act of playing is much more fun and engaging than the act of watching. So you're actively contributing to the violence and destruction in these video games, whereas watching it isn't quite as fun. And that's another thing that comes back to the choices. You get to make the choices a lot of the time, which is one of the interesting aspects of a video game. So even though I really want to play a Mass Effect game, I've got a feeling I won't enjoy it as much as say playing a Mass Effect game because I don't get to make the choices that change the story. It's not my character that's in the center of it. So it is one of those things where it's like, that's one of the reasons video game movies don't tend to work, that especially for big epics like that. But a GTA one does seem obvious.
Yeah, it seems more obvious than Saints Row.
That's getting one, isn't it?
That's getting written by the guy that made Mortal Kombat. The guy who wrote Mortal Kombat. He's just making a lot of films.
Oh no!
Yep.
Oh, no, it's supposed to be a fun movie. I'm not supposed to be.
Yeah. Or is it? Is it going to be like Saints Row the Third, or is it going to be like Saints Row, the first one?
If it's going to be any Saints Row game, it needs to be Saints Row the third or the fourth. It needs to be an adaptation of Saints Row 4. And it's just so I can have the president sequence. It needs to be a bridge in the gap. It needs to be the campaign to run for president.
With what's the guy called? He's in Community.
Keith David.
Keith David, yeah.
Yeah, as your vice president.
Yeah. It would be quite a good sort of reference to that if Keith David was the president in the series. But yeah, the Grand Theft Auto series just needs to be like Narcos, but a little bit more ridiculous with like more animated characters and less serious.
Would you, if someone came up to you and said, write a GTA series, would you know where to take it?
Would I know where to take it? No, I'd probably have to think very hard and just do a crime film or show. But I'd obviously have more sort of like
you'd have
ridiculousness
to nail
do
the
it.
parody. You'd have to nail the parody of American life, which is one of the things that people seem to forget. Because GTA is just now GTA Online for most people, but one of the great aspects of GTA is the parody of America when the games come out. I would guess not so much in Vice City, but in 3, San Andreas, and 4 and 5, there's some great parody of the world we live in. It's one of the most interesting aspects. That's why I'm very excited for the next one. I'm hoping the next one's set in modern day, but I've got a feeling it's going to be set in the fucking 80s. Which is alright, but...
Get Donald Glover and his brother, is it Ben Glover? Donald and Ben Glover and Hiro Murai, the team behind...
Danny. Isn't it Danny Glover?
It's not Danny Glover. No.
Is it not?
It's his dad. Get the team behind Atlanta to do Game of Thrones. They could do it. That sort of style.
100%.
Watch Atlanta, everyone. It's on Disney Plus. It's a really good show.
I'll watch it. I do plan to watch that actually. Because season 3
What's another game?
Another game off the top of my head. Let's try Hitman again for the third time. Let's try and do it. Let's try and do Hitman again.
No. We have to draw the line. It's not even a game that's like... You can't adapt it because it's not got like a story. It's a game where every level... It's got levels where it's an open thing. You can't do it. You can't do it.
It's just a sandbox to play in. It's like trying to adapt someone's fucking imagination. It's pointless.
Yeah.
I also, another one, the same vein of GTA, and I wouldn't say I want to do it, but why has no one tried COD yet? Why has no one done Call of Duty?
Yeah. God, that would be fun.
Just a shooter. That's all it has to be. Is just a shooter. But
yeah, I'm probably gonna get
do you
a
adapt
Fortnite
a
game
game
before Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's the thing. Mario's getting getting one by Illumination, which is another one that's like shocking to me, and I don't want it. But I don't. It's Illumination, man.
They did Minions.
Have you seen Minions?
No. But I've seen Despicable Me, and I've been on this Despicable Me ride at Universal Studios, so they create success.
They make that moolah.
Blink, blink. They've punched those coins.
And then, do you know what another one is? That's Spider-Man. You know the one that came out on Sony, the Sony PlayStation? I think he's due a movie.
Nah.
Do you not?
No, I think he'd work better as a 1970s Japanese animation.
You know, you also have the really obvious ones, and I know Sony's getting on this because we talked about The Last of Us, but Ghost of Tsushima is in active development, which is a really great one. I think Horizons, there's no way Horizons won't get one because that is such a fucking cool world that you wouldn't. I don't know
Forza?
why. Forza Horizons? Yeah, Forza Horizons, to be honest. That Need for Speed movie is pretty good. If we do another one like that, but with the Forza name. Aaron Paul, Need for Speed was one of the best video games adaptations I've ever watched in my life. We one of my friends watched that 3 times at the cinema. Like they went to go and see it on their own, and then they saw it with their parents, and then they were like, "No, this is a really good movie." So we all went with them to go and watch Need for Speed at our local cinema. and you were
I've
like,
never,
yeah, no,
I've
that
not
was
seen
great.
it. I've never seen it.
It's all right. It's not like
I-
offensive. It's just a
The
street
only
racing movie.
Not seen Need for Speed. Not seen The Fast or Furious, and I've not seen Faster. I've seen
Fast
Speed
was-
Racer.
That's true. If we talk about movies that
and
drew a video game, Speed Racer drew a fucking video game.
It got a video game. It got like a tie-in.
proper one, not a tie-in one, a proper video game.
Give me a F0, FX0, F. I don't even know what it is. The one with Captain Falcon. What's another game that would be good? Snakes and Ladders, the film. It's like Snakes in a
Jumanji.
Plane. Snakes in a Plane meets Skyscraper.
Incredible.
I know. Get The Rock in it. Done.
Can't wait. Can't wait for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Dungeons and Dragons would be pretty fucking epic as well. There's loads of like wee ones that you could probably do, but again, like I said, video games are meant for playing on video game consoles, and I don't think watching them is always the best idea. This was just a sort of experiment into. I think that'd look quite cool. I don't know if it'd be good or not, but hey, done right, it could be very good.
Yeah.
Fuck knows though.
A lot of times a video game adaptation is this thing has a market. And an audience. Let's get money out of them.
It's like Call of Duty and GTA. It's like when they tried to do Doom. Doom was very big when Doom came out, and Doom was bad.
Not seen it. With The Rock.
in Doom. Yeah.
Did they make a sequel with Keith Urban, Carl Urban, not Keith Urban?
I don't know.
not Nicole
I know they
Kidman's.
made a sequel recently called Doom Annihilation, which Bethesda had nothing to do with whatsoever, and Universal only made it to keep the rights, and it was straight to DVD. Yeah.
Ah,
Great folk they are. We should do the opposite of this one day and do movies into video games, but I feel like we
Lego Star Wars. Oh no, there already is. Lots of things. Give me more Witcher, please. Have you watched The
don't
Witcher
need to watch that. Not watched it yet. Nope, not at all.
You're gonna have to watch this first season, and then the second season, and then the short film. No, the anime series, the anime film, and then the spin-off prequel series.
You lost me at anime.
There's also we forgot about the Watch Dogs kids TV show.
Yes, that's another one we need to talk about. Is the Watch Dogs Pixar animated movie? They've taken their most political and most adult franchise and went, do you know what we need to market this to? Children. Specifically, younger children. So they've taken a hacker in middle school or something and made her like the center of a bloody...
What is it with these films that are about like kids who are hackers and they hack the school system to get a day off?
I think she's
And
doing more
then-
than that, but the series isn't even out yet. I don't even know what's going on with that.
No,
Fuck knows though.
you've also got
Netflix.
the Assassin's Creed Netflix anime, and the Netflix Division film with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's been filming. I don't know. They keep making announcements of it, and I'm like, have you filmed it or are you not?
One day this Division, every E3 they're like, one day Division will come out. Today is not that day.
Yeah. Here's a trailer for the next Division expansion. And they're like, fucking come on.
Give us Division 3 so me and Jordi can jump on it from the beginning and not have to go in inactive servers all the time. That'd be great.
Now we move on to a segment that we call the Weekly Watchlist.
Dun 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 dun.
And the Weekly Watchlist. It's the Weekly Watchlist. Stop typing!
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just getting my thingy up so I can see what I watched this week because I have the memory of a goldfish. Oh yeah, I watched nothing. That's true. I didn't watch a thing.
So first off this week we watched Nobody, which is a film by Derek Kolstad, written by Derek Kolstad, the creator of John Wick. And it stars Bob Odenkirk as a man who is a auditor, which is a person who, well, he's a retired auditor, which was a man that the government would send to people who they couldn't arrest to take care of them, in air quotes, lots of air quotes. And yeah, he's a family man, but his house is broken into, and he doesn't attack the burglars. He lets them take some money, and his son and his wife are sort of like, "You're a wimp," or his son is. His wife knows what he's capable of, and the Bob's like, I wouldn't have done anything because I know what I'm capable of. And then he finds out that his daughter's kitten bracelet was stolen, and he goes mental, and it all sort of unravels from there, and it spirals, and it becomes very John Wickian, which makes sense.
I'm guessing I'm back.
But what stands out about this is that it is Bob Odenkirk, but it's Bob Odenkirk. He's Breaking Bad's Bob Odenkirk is doing these stunts and this fight choreography. So a lot of the to sum up this film, it is very much, imagine if John Wick was played by Bob Odenkirk, who you don't really picture as a action hero, but he put in the time, and he got fit, and he got into fighting shape and did everything. And it's a very violent film.
One of the things I like about the choreography the most is, especially it gets better towards the end of the film, but I like how he is visibly rusty. Like he starts off the film very much just like he's not done it in ages. Like you know he's capable of like kicking shit into them, but he is getting fucking, like, especially in the bus, he is getting fucking pushed around. Like he is not quite where he was at that level. And by the end of the film, he's a fucking maniac. But I enjoyed that little sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Little
nuance
in the fighting choreography. I enjoyed the choreography. I loved the fight sequences. I just felt the story was very derivative, and knowing now that it's by the same guy that John Wick, the first one, it does kind of make sense. But it also was like, come on, mate.
He did all three. Did he not write all three?
Did he write all three? Well, again, you're like, come on, mate. Surely you've got something else up your sleeve. But yeah, it felt very samey to me in terms of the older John Wicks. It just didn't. It also didn't really kind of grab me as much as the other ones. But yeah, it was an enjoyable movie, and I had a good time watching it. But yeah, it's like a 6 for me.
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd is also in this film, and he is a delight.
I love that man.
I loved him. Yes. The film is directed by Ilya Naishuller. I don't know if I'm probably not saying that right, but he is the director of Hardcore Henry.
Have you seen that? I've not seen that.
I've not seen it, no. I really wanted to, but then I didn't. And that's the end of that story.
I was too young at the time when it came out.
Yeah.
So I couldn't see it. Even though I wanted to.
Now would be the time where I look at the Rotten Tomatoes score and get Cameron to guess the score, but they're having an internal server error currently.
Actually, do you want me to look on because it sometimes comes up on the? Oh no, wait, just Google it because it sometimes come up on the Google page.
Oh no, wait, I think it was just the page that I was on. I think they must have changed the URLs. Yes. So, what do you think this film got?
76, a scrape of certified fresh. It's scraped to certified fresh.
This film has an 82% rating on the tomato meter. Yeah.
Certified fresh.
Yeah. I think that's what that means. Yes.
Should just have a wee banner on the tomato. That's a lot. That's a bit higher than I thought. I wasn't too far off, but it was. Yeah, I can see why people would really enjoy it. I think people are begging for this kind of film. That's probably.
I believe when I checked earlier. When I checked earlier, the audience score was in the 90s.
It's not anymore. What was that, 82 or something?
I can't check.
Oh.
Because the page is down. Yeah. I'd agree with that. I really liked it. I guess should we be like
Well, I
Ebert
think you're a fool.
and the other guy. I'm giving it a thumbs up. Well, I'm afraid I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Nobody is not out in the UK. It comes
8th.
out 9th.
8th.
Is it not 8th? It was
think it got
11th
moved.
and then it was 9th, so has it been moved again?
I think it's 8th. I think it's a Tuesday.
Well, there you have it.
Sometime that week, between June 8th and June 11th, it will come out in the cinema. I promise you.
Yeah.
But if you're in America, you can rent it on iTunes for 20 quid.
Yeah. Another a film that actually came out this week is Black Bear, which is a film starring Aubrey Plaza. Have you seen it? No, I haven't.
Not yet.
But it is a film in which Aubrey Plaza plays a woman who is a filmmaker who's trying to get inspiration for her script, and she goes and stays at a lakeside cabin with a couple who hate each other. They're stuck in a relationship because the woman is pregnant, so it's very passive aggressive. And then things sort of spiral. It's a psychological thriller.
I'll spiral into this week. I fun fact about this movie: I rented it for 99 cents and then forgot to watch it, and it expired within the 30 days. So great work on my part. But I really want to watch this. It premiered at the Glasgow Film Festival here, and I wanted to watch it, but I just never had the chance. I was very busy around that time. So
I read there was an Empire interview with Aubrey Plaza, and she said this film was really important to her because it was her she's trying to take roles that are not what she is typecast as she's usually typecast as either like April or the girl from Dirty Grandpa or Ingrid. She's just like the weird Aubrey Plaza comedy that you sort of associate with her. But she wants to be serious, which is cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. But now the big boy, the big kahuna.
Oh, Street Fighter.
Friday was the release of the Street Fighter movie.
Yes.
Also known as Mortal Kombat.
Tekken.
These boys. The film is directed by somebody. Simon McQuoid. Simon McQuoid. It's like McQuaid, but with an O. Simon McQuoid. He'd done nothing. He's just done adverts.
Is he actually just done adverts?
He has 2 IMDb credits.
That's fucking lucky.
An advert and Mortal Kombat. I don't know. I was looking up. I was like, is he friends with James Wan? I didn't understand. Mortal Kombat is an adaptation, obviously, of the Mortal Kombat games, in which there is 2 realms. There is Earth Realm and Outworld. There are other worlds which they sort of say, well, realm. There's 7, I think, but they only basically focus on 2. And basically there is a interworld combat tournament called Mortal Kombat, and the bad guys have won 9 times, and if they win a 10th time, they get to invade Earthrealm. So that's the foundation of the plot. They have to win the tournament a 10th time to invade Earth. So what they do is they decide to kill the good guys before the tournament starts by invading Earth.
There's a very little Mortal Kombat in this. There's actually no Mortal Kombat tournament in this. It's just the preamble to the fight, to the actual tournament, which is insanity to me.
They should have called this Scorpion versus Sub-Zero Dawn of
the Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. It's
it
falls apart so quick.
It just the opening 7 minutes is really fucking cool, set in like 1600s Japan, where Sub-Zero and Scorpion sort of just duke it out before they're properly Sub-Zero and Scorpion. That's a really cool sequence. I enjoyed that. The rest of the movie just coasts on nothing. Nothing sort of happens at all. apart from Kano, the Australian character, making little quips. The reason I enjoyed this movie so much is because me and my brother just kept making fun of the names of people and going, we don't know anything about Mortal Kombat at all, so we would just go, oh yes, that's Jimmy the Legs. He's my favorite Mortal Kombat character, or oh, that's, do you know what? He's not gone. He goes, we were like, oh yes, he is Deep Cold, my favorite Mortal Kombat character, or just the shit like that. And just every time they said the word Mortal Kombat, we'd cheer like, yes, woo, like we were massive fans.
They didn't even spell it right. It's
my mum said that.
At that point, when Sub-Zero goes, my name is Sub-Zero, that is from then on, for most of the film, me and Fraser were just pretending to be the bad guy, being like, oh, you're Sub-Zero this week. Well, last week you were Chili Dicks. So you got to pick a name. Yeah.
So it just we had a fun time making fun of the movie, and we liked some. I know you didn't like him, but I liked Kano's quips. I enjoyed some of Kano's quips, and that was like it, really. Anytime he was on screen, we were laughing, and then that was it.
This film is a fan film of a series of individual fights. Some of it, a lot of it makes no sense. It's so strange, and it's trying to be smart and be like, here's some aspects of the game that we think we know are kind of silly, so we're gonna make reference to it.
I would say I did laugh at the whole sweeping a leg thing and him and Kano falling. Like that was one thing that I enjoyed the mention of, was they kept sweeping a leg and Kano falling over, and he couldn't do anything about it because he couldn't jump properly. We wanted them to go, and I don't know if they did it because I did sort of doze for like 10 minutes before, but we were really hoping that someone would try to do a fatality and then like not squat enough times before they could do the fatality, because you know how you've got to enter in the code to do the fatality you want to choose. So you were just hoping someone would go hoo 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 hoo, and then they go, oh fuck, and then and then not manage to do it properly.
Yeah, and the amount of times the characters say the lines from the game. So Kano wins at one point. For no reason, it doesn't make any sense. It's bad grammar.
He draws a picture that has like fatality, like fatality win or something underneath the drawing and things like that. It's just very odd and very on the nose. It's just odd. It's an odd film.
Questionable CGI.
Yes.
From like, all right, like the one shot that's from the trailer where the shotgun sort of freezes and blasts in the ice. That's amazing. And then you have like Goro, which is the big forearms guy. And you're like, oh, that's horrible. And the winged woman that just had no lighting, like shadows on her. It was,
we thought the lady with the blood on her mouth, we thought she had some kind of herpes or something. We thought she just had a really bad cold sore. We were just like, oh shit,
nah,
poor her. She's to get some fucking cream for that.
That is Katana, who has a very interesting backstory, but they didn't focus on anything. They didn't explain. You have to come into this film with a foundation of knowledge of who these characters are. You have to already know everything. So it was made for fans, but it doesn't do anything with it. One good guy dies. Spoiler.
Hatman.
And then all the bad guys die in one sequence at the same time.
Do they come back? I don't think anyone really ever dies, though. No one ever really dies, because
yes, they do.
Scorpion did.
Well, apart from Scorpion, we'll get on to that.
Seems to cheat death for some reason. Yeah, we'll just. It was apologies. There are spoilers in this section because I can't fucking be bothered anymore trying to sheepdog or like fucking like jump around all these shit. Like Scorpion comes back from the dead for no reason whatsoever. He dies in the first 7 minutes, and then his bloodline follows on to whatever his face is, the guy with the metal shirt. Yeah. And then I thought he was going to become Scorpion or something, because I didn't know the games at all. So I thought he was going to be the new Scorpion or something, and like have the powers granted to him. I didn't think Scorpion would just come back. I thought it'd be like a whole, like, he would go back in time and Scorpion would be like, you need to carry on our legacy, for here is my whippy knife and here is my outfit. Go and become the new Scorpion. and then he came back and he'd be Scorpion. But no, he was his own thing. I had no clue he was his own thing. Is he his own thing in the games?
He's a completely original character, but people thought that before the film came out, from like the trailers, people were theorizing that there in the games there are other people that take on the mantle of Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So people thought, or is it there's two Sub-Zeros, and people thought that he would be the new Sub-Zero. I don't know. I don't really know the games apart from the characters, but yeah, he comes back and then disappears, and I didn't understand what's happening.
It was fun. It was a fun moment when he went, "Get over here," and we're like, "Oh shit, he's back!" And then we went, "How the fuck is he back?"
Yeah,
what happened?
And then
also, my brother spent the entire movie going, "Is Johnny Cage in this?" And I was like, "Who's Johnny Cage again?" And at the very end, it panned past the poster. It said Johnny Cage, like coming soon or something. And we're like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" Yeah, wasted characters. I felt.
Yeah, maybe in the next film we'll actually get Mortal Kombat.
Do you think it, even if this film was marketed differently as a sort of like setup to the Mortal Kombat, do you think it does the job of setting up? Because there's 4 films that bloody Scorpion,
No.
The guy's contracted for 4 movies. It doesn't even do the job of setting up the next 3.
It gets rid of most of the most interesting bad guys, apart from the one I can't believe I keep forgetting his name. It's not Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn's the guy with the skull. Shao Kahn is this. I think no. I don't know. I don't know enough of this. Stop asking
They
me
should have
questions.
told us. They should have just said.
I give it a thumbs down. I give it a thumbs down.
I also give it a thumbs down.
I give it 2 thumbs down.
Thank you, Siskel. Am I Siskel or are you Siskel? Who's Siskel and who's Ebert?
You're Ebert, I think.
Okay.
You have glasses.
Okay.
Move your jaw
You're
back a
bald.
bit.
Well, the thing is, Siskel, I didn't like this film, but you like Starship Troopers, so you're a fucking idiot.
We're getting too niche now. Yeah, so that was that film. That was the big film. Next week's films, you've got the Yasuke anime series on Netflix, which is a series about the first the first African samurai, who I don't know enough about the backstory, but he was the first African samurai. I think he was a former slave. He is voiced by Lakeith Stanfield. And the interesting thing about this project is that it's one of many Yasuke projects, including one called Gaijin, which is Japanese for foreigner, which is being made by Matt Reeves. And I think that was the one that was going to involve Chadwick Boseman. But he can't do it anymore.
Maybe one day.
They're bringing back James Dean for films, so maybe.
Maybe one day.
Yeah, you also have
Mitchell
the
versus
Mitchells
the Machines.
Yeah.
I beat you to it. Mitchell versus the Machines, the road trip movie with Danny McBride and some other folk, animated Phil Lord and Chris Miller movie, which looks really good. It was going to come to the cinemas, and then Sony sold it to Netflix for some reason. So great work on their part. I can't wait. It's originally called Connected in America, but it was always called Mitchell versus the Machines here. Fun fact.
It's very confusing. I don't like it. Another show that's coming out on Friday as well is The Mosquito Coast, which is a series starring Justin Theroux, and is about a man who takes his family because they're being hunted down by the government.
I will
That's
never
all
watch
I know.
these. I
probably won't watch it either. I just know that, and it's based on a film with Harrison Ford. And I think River Phoenix plays his son.
Oh.
And that's the project in which Harrison Ford said that he grew to love River Phoenix as a son.
We're not
sad.
far off the we're not far off Marvel movie, not Marvel. We're far off Marvel movies, but we're not far off bloody Bad Batch. That's soon. That's exciting. We're nearly there for that.
May 4th, yeah. 2 weeks.
May 4th. I can't wait. I'm so excited for that. I might rewatch the arc, actually. It's only like an hour or two. So I might rewatch this Clone Wars arc from season 7 for that. We'll talk more about that next week, because that's a Disney Plus series. And another thing I watched this week, Jordi, on Disney Plus, was The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the finale episode. We're going to go full spoilers just from the get-go of this, because fuck that. Fuck trying to get around this with no spoilers, because this episode's physically enabled. The entire episode's a big spoiler for the series, so if you've not watched Falcon,
it's a final episode.
Just skip a bit.
No, just go and watch the film, and go watch it, and then come back.
Yeah, some people took ages to watch this, and I'm surprised. Like, it was like, 'cause I know some people didn't watch it until today.
Idiots.
It's crazy. And I'm glad I watched it when I did, because 2 minutes after I finished watching it, I opened my phone and saw someone had finally posted the suit reveal on like, once the news broke about future movies and things. Oh, they just thought, free reign, fuck it, we'll post the new suit. So I was like, oh, thanks guys. Yeah. Jordi, go and recap the plot then.
So the plot was there's a fight in New York, and there's the Flag Smashers versus Bucky and Falcon, and then Bucky fights Falcon fights Batroc. No. He's not the Falcon anymore. He's Captain America. He's got a lovely suit. It's maybe one of my favorite suits in the MCU.
So cool. My mum didn't like the snood. My mum wasn't a fan of the ears. He thought he should have just covered the ears.
It's made of a strange material that I wouldn't have expected from Wakanda.
Yeah.
It looks almost pajama-ish. But yeah, there's a big fight. John Walker shows up again. He's a good guy.
No one fucking redeemed him. Who said he could come back? Who said he was like? Why did Bucky just go? Yeah, pal, let's go and deal with some folk.
He comes back. He's got a new shield. It sort of cracks instantly. He saves some people, and he starts making some quips, and he's like, "Yeah!" And are we supposed to enjoy this? And then we get the reveal that Sharon Carter is the power broker, and then she kills Carly, and then Sam has Carly and her dead body, and then the media are like, it's the terrorists, and then Sam's like, no, they're not terrorists, they're just people trying to fight for what's right. The government are people, are upper class twits who are making decisions alongside other upper class twits and not taking into account the opinions of the people they are protecting.
It's mirroring real life.
Yeah, it's like crazy. Ice.
It's like a social commentary. It's crazy.
Yeah. And if you think my explanation of this episode has been rushed, that's how the episode feels.
It's one of the worst episodes of the season, and I don't understand it.
It was very rushed. It was it felt like they'd given it to somebody who had just come in to write and direct, and they said, "Here's what we've been setting up," and then the person just went, "All right, I'll just make it that," instead of doing anything interesting in between.
It did feel like we missed an episode.
All the Flag Smashers die.
Yeah, just die. There's no real there's like the Baron Zemo's butler sort of smiles in the car as he blows them up, and that's it. They're over.
Yeah.
Things out, everything's done.
I didn't even remember that he was a character. I thought he was a new character. But
my mum and dad, my brothers were like, "Oh my god, who's that? Is that like someone we should know?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's Baron Zemo's butler." Yeah.
John Walker is officially the US agent. He's with Val. So that's probably going to lead to some
sort of Is that a government agency then? Is that like a government thing? Does he become a government agent?
Probably going to lead to some agent? Thunderbolts. Yeah, he's US agent. But yeah, Val, who's definitely not a Skrull. And yeah, that's his character. And then Sam and Bucky have a nice sort of barbecue scene, and Bucky, him and Sam's sister, and then and Bucky tells Yuri that Yeah, how rushed is this episode? Bucky tells Yuri that he killed his son, and then we cut. We don't see his reaction. He just leaves. We cut to him leaving. And we get some great acting again from the man. I've forgotten his name, I'm afraid. Isaiah Bradley. Yeah.
They better greenlight us. He is dying for a live action. Not even
He
live,
has
there's
to
a
be in
series.
Yeah. After this episode
Did you say
airs,
he's in old age makeup? He's in old age makeup, isn't he? Or
I think he's made to look older than he is. If you look at like his IMDb, he's not. He's obviously unkempt in the series. He's not shaven, and he's got white.
The wrinkles look fake. Like the wrinkles look.
He looks a bit mad, but he doesn't look like.
He
that
looks
in real
like Doc Brown in 1985 in the first Back to the Future. You know how he has those really weird wrinkles on his neck.
Yeah.
From the not from the CGI, but from the prosthetics. He looks like that, and I was thinking to myself, they just rip them off and put them in a bloody flashback series in Vietnam and whatever, and they'll be good to go. It'd be silly not to have him as to have a series for him.
Yeah. After this episode aired, it was not announced but reported that Captain America 4 is in development with Malcolm Spellman returning as director writer. Was he both?
Writer, I think. I don't think he's
director.
Writer.
So yeah, obviously Sam Wilson. Yeah, that's his name. Anthony Mackie is returning, but so will probably Isaiah Bradley and Eli Bradley.
I like the idea of it. I don't know if we should have got someone else to write it though, because if they manage to make a 6-hour story rushed, I'm terrified to see what they're going to be like with a 2-hour story. But yeah, I'm curious about
That's
this.
The thing. Oh. That's the thing. It wasn't a 6-hour story that was rushed. We can't see the series in a negative light because of one episode. That's what people on the internet need to learn.
Yeah,
it's a great show, and all its messages and themes are still amazing.
I wasn't disputing that. I was just saying in my opinion, it did bring down the show because it couldn't stick the landing. It didn't, and that's a major part of it. If this was just one episode that felt a bit rushed, then it'd be like fine. But this is the last episode. This is the stick the landing episode. Every conclusion doesn't just sort of runs to the finish line as they run out of time. It doesn't feel, in a way you can say it does make the series look bad in a way because of just how rushed it is at the end. But
it really
I
Games and Thrones it. Game of Thrones. Yeah.
I like the touch at the end where the title sequence had Captain America and the Winter Soldier instead of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That was great.
Yeah.
Rampant you got any rampant speculation for this, Jordi?
Val's definitely not a Skrull. That's it. That's it. Yeah, we have a whole month of nothing. No MCU show. What are we going to talk about?
Star Wars.
Yeah, so we got, and is it June 11th?
June 11th. That's actually June 11th, yes.
June 11th, Loki begins, and then in July, halfway through, we got Black Widow.
No, 9th of July. Is that halfway through? Is 9th the halfway mark? Would you count that as halfway?
Halfway through the Loki series.
Oh, yes, that's true.
Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you have enjoyed this, please subscribe to us on YouTube or podcast services. It really helps with our confidence. Yes, you heard me right. You can watch us on YouTube. You can watch my terrible facial hair. You've shaved. You got rid of your facial hair. You traitor.
I was doing really well as well, actually. I was looking pretty snazzy.
You can see us on YouTube, or you can listen to us on podcast services while you're doing exercise, washing the dishes, whatever. You can find me at Real Jordi Steele on Twitter. Cameron, where can they find you?
At CamzoOG on Twitter, or or twitch.tv/Camzo_OG. More on that soon, very soon. I did plan to do this Thursday, but my computer decided to be a bit of a dick, so I didn't manage to do that. But hopefully, in the coming weeks and months, more time to do that. And I also do another podcast called 55 Minute Movies, a Vin Diesel podcast where me and our fan are going and reviewing every single Vin Diesel movie ever made. And it's a good old fun time, and you should go and subscribe to that. The link is in the description.
And you can find Oh Hi Films at Oh Hi Films on Twitter. And you can find this show at Four Eyes Giant on Twitter. There's also ohhifilms.com. Yeah.
Happy with that?
Thank you very much
Happy
for
with that?
watching. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you have a good day. I bid you adieu. Goodbye.
Ta-ra.
I don't have my guitar this week.
Where is
It's
it?
in the living room. It's in the living room.
Oh.
Yeah. What you gonna do?
It happens.
Goodbye.